Hey, what's up? It's Rashad, Antonio, the Upon Further Review. Dune Prophecy, Episode 2, Two Wolves. All spoilers. Gotta talk about a thing to talk about a thing. Shout out to just good TV, man. Like, again, I, I think my expectations for this show were very metered
hmm
and tempered and just
hmm
even. I said, oh man, I like Doom. Feeling Doom 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Feeling love the universe. Again,
hmm
I'm gonna preface this with I ain't never read a Doom nothing. Be careful for like book spoilers in the comments if you do want to comment, because
Yeah.
a lot of us haven't read it. So don't be a book elitist. All right.
Yeah.
Like don't be that person.
Yeah.
We love y'all, but like
Relax.
just chill on that.
Yeah.
So
Relax.
got a couple of revelations in this joint, and we got more questions. Okay, so again, I'm gonna be skipping about because I just want to talk
hmm
about something that I'm not sure again, and I think the show is intentionally doing this
hmm
because of who was the showrunner before she left, and just how the show is kind of going, how it's been written. So I
Also,
really,
too.
yeah, go
Also,
ahead.
too. For a little disclaimer, there are so many characters
Oh
in
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
that we're not going to hit each one. It's a lot. It's a lot of Bene Gesserit. Apparently, they're going to, I guess, be bigger things later on. Or I ain't gonna say Bene Gesserit, excuse me, soothsayers, because that's what they are right now. Because there was like maybe one we didn't hit on in the first one, but this one was a big part of this episode, right? This episode right here. So I just want to hit on
Yeah,
that real quick.
so because they kill off Tula in this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and the way that they ended up saying like, look, like this person is either like the great granddaughter and all that. I
Did
mean
they kill?
Lila.
Did they kill her off, or is she?
Yeah, we'll discuss that.
Okay.
I just want to preface this as like as the show's presenting this.
Okay. Uh huh.
So right now, either she's dead or she's lost in the
Mm-hmm.
in like the whatever like we got to come up with a name for that realm. You got a name for that?
Um, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna call it. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm
Okay.
gonna call it this, because you know what that was they gave her, right?
Yeah, yeah, we know.
That was the water of life.
Yeah, we know.
So she's lost in the water of life realm. That's what we're gonna call
Yeah,
it. The water.
yeah. She's definitely lost in the proverbial sauce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the way they set that up, we have because remember episode 1,
Mm-hmm.
Raquella is clearly a black lady. Her
Mm-hmm.
granddaughter, she's still black too.
Mm-hmm.
This child, at the least, is a person of color. So
Mm-hmm.
it's looking and looking at just I want to frame this correctly. It feels like we have the Harkonnen and her taking over
Mm-hmm.
the
Col-
whole.
Let's call it what it is. She colonized the soothsayers. I'm gonna call it what it is.
Yeah, because look at it, like is every person of color that they interact with, they done died.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're potentially putting them in harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
We
Or
got that.
using them for their own
That's what I'm
advancement.
saying. Cause
Mm-hmm.
look, we got what's the Asian lady's name?
Kasha
Yeah. We had
Kasha.
Kasha
Uh-huh.
dead.
Mm-hmm.
We got young Tula.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Lila. What's that girl's name? Yeah. Lila. My bad, Lila. Because
Leela.
Tula
Uh-huh.
is Valia's homegirl. So
Yeah. Uh-huh.
again, Lila
Mm-hmm.
put her in harm's way like crazy. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And then
Mm-hmm.
she may or may not be dead in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And then also
Sister Theodosa, hey,
you come
to
with me.
you coming with me to help get this chick right. Giving mammy vibes, but that's just me as well.
That's what I'm saying.
So mm-hmm.
So yeah, so there's this like kind of like in your face, but like very like subtle undertones of just like white supremacy. Like, and and again, like I'm not sure if that's what the show is trying to tell us, but that's what I see. And the fact that they are essentially stringing them along, and the white women that are in power are just saying, look, yo, this is a sisterhood, yada yada. But even up until current day, who's still overrunning the Bene Gesserit? Still white people. So there's this undercurrent of like you just said, of they colonize the whole thing. And even if let's just say what's the girl that died in the first episode?
Dorita.
Yeah, Dorothea. If
Dorothea,
like let's say she ended up taking over and then coming back to just the more religious, let man, let we don't, we're not there to guide them, we're just there to assist type thing. Like that still would have been what the original intent of the thing was, but for some reason they latched on to the more controlling, violent, you know what I'm saying, aspects of what the house we know, I mean not the house, but the order we know to be today as a Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, because Dorothea is Lila's grandmother.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're going to see, Dorothea's daughter that gave birth to, gave birth to Leah or whatever. That was the main reason. Lila, remember, that's the main reason Lila did.
She was like, yo, if my great grandma's there, then my mom can be there too.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, whoa. Not really sure. But hey, it's a possibility. But I'm saying, like, you don't know when you go there.
Right.
And also, I man, like that scene. Okay. The scene when we have Lila go to the water life realm. And the way that they kind of bring it into the whole, because you remember what like, yo, everything, like this was so beginning of Bene Gesserit, because it was such trial and error. Like Lila is literally the trial and error for the water of life, because it was like, look, yo, you got to separate the poison and all that stuff, and stay with me and all that.
Break it down to
a cellular level, to the molecular level and all that. Because in the new one, he was like, Paul was like, yo, like all the Bene Gesserit know how to do that. That's what they get trained to do. So after years and years and millennia,
10,000 years.
Yeah, they perfected that art to the point where it don't even matter. They just know how to do it.
So this is what's even more funny about that. So Valia is basically like, hey, she tells her sister Tula, look here, we need to find out what happened to Kasha. And we think the only person that really has the genes to do this, the gene pool that can master this, is Lila. And you see Tula's like, relax, hold on. Like, this is dangerous. This girl could die from doing this. And Valia is basically like, I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
No, Valia said, people die every day, B.
Yeah, she said all the lines.
She's strong.
But die. She's strong. She hit him with the Drago.
If he dies, he dies.
He dies. Yo, like Valia does not care. And Tula's like, no, chill. Valia's like, hey, look here, girl. Look here, sis. I know you have an affinity for this young lady because she's your protege and you helped and you basically raised her. And then she told her, guess what though? She ain't your daughter. That ain't your girl, my G. So we gonna make this happen.
She hit him with a Stephen A. Smith. He said, you know what? We don't care. we don't care.
We don't care. And so, and the thing is, you have other members of the Soothsayer Order there that they show us, but we really don't know much about them. So we feel like they tell Lila, hey, this is what we're gonna do to you, but this is your decision. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I do and don't like how they did this. So we have her talking to the crazy white girl. You know what I'm saying? And then I think she
seems like the Yeah, the white girl seems like she's the rebel of their little class or
Because
whatever.
she's looking like, yo, like, they just using us. They wouldn't even tell
Yeah.
you who your mother is in real life for real. They separate us on
Mm-hmm.
purpose. He said, look, man,
Mm-hmm.
and Leela's like, look, man, I owe the order everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And she's
Mm-hmm.
looking like, yo, if they
Yeah.
knew who your mother was, they wouldn't tell you. On top of that, they just using you. What if they said,
Right.
well, what if I'm useful to order? She said, you can't be useful if you dead.
Right. And Lila didn't even know that the founder of the order, Raquel, was her great great grandmother
So just, again,
until they told her.
information,
Yeah.
information that they just was withholding.
Knowledge is power. High. What is high? What is learning?
What is higher
Higher
learning?
learning.
Yeah, they was really,
Yeah.
really out there acting like, never
Mm-hmm.
mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so they're telling Lila, hey, we need you to commune with your dead great grandmother, but you're also going to, say it goes back to lineage. And so she's like, so I'm gonna get to see my mom too. And they're like, hold on, we don't know about that. So Lila is thinking about it, but she, that's the thing that pushes her over the edge to be like, I want to see my mom. And she wants to be able, saying, and they do this. So they put her on the table and they give her the water of life. And she starts to tweak on the thing, and like they're talking her through it. It's okay. Breathe, 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 breathe. All right, separate the poison, break it down, break it down. What do you see? And she starts to see, like, she's like in a realm, and she sees all these shrouded women or whatever. And I'm going to take that to believe that they may be all her ancestors of
Yeah.
all, what I'm saying, of all the women, the people of her family. And basically, Raquel kind of holds her down, and they start having a conversation, and she starts speaking to her, and Lila's talking for Raquel to her, like, to the rest of them, saying, yeah, it's some crazy ish going on right here, all about Arrakis, of course, is the main basically protagonist, everything of this series or whatever, is
Always.
stuff always. And then she's like, cool, they're talking, and then you see kind of like Lila is like, "Ooh, all right, cool." And then one of the figures starts talking to her, and she's like, "Mom," and she was like talking to her, and then she says, "Is that what they told you? That's what they told you to do this? That you're gonna see your mother?" And then they basically possess her, and she comes to, and during the whole possession, the flashback, Lila sees what happens to her grandmother, where Valia told, use the voice on her to make Dorothea kill herself and off herself. And then basically that was Dorothea. It was the spirit of Dorothea was like,
Yo, that was
yo, she said,
crazy.
she was, mind you, Valia and Tula are actual sisters. They are Harkonnen. She says, Harkonnen, you thought you was gonna come here to do this? This is your biggest disappointment. Basically was like, yeah, we're not telling you nothing. We're taking her and we're possessing her and we're keeping her or whatever. And then basically Lila goes into, she dies, or she slips in some coma or something. And this is all going on while the other students are watching, Rashad. And
Which
you see
I
they,
did not understand why they were there.
right.
It's
What it was
like,
like? You know what I'm taking? It was like at a medical school in the
yeah,
examining room,
I
and
about to
they're
say the
sitting
same
there
thing.
watching, like, oh, so that's how you perform that surgery type. That's what it was giving. But did you see the fear in Tula's face before Lila basically passes out? She was like,
Shook.
she
She was
was like, oh
shook.
my God, they know. This girl now knows what my sister did to her grandmother type thing.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of basically that story plot in this episode
and
right
and and the,
there.
and the crazy part, that just was one of the great storylines in this
Uh-huh.
episode. Like
Yeah.
that, like I am this is why I really wanted to watch this and review this. I am so interested in the Bene Gesserit and how they do things, how they operate. Of course, okay. At the end of this like limited series, is what it is, only 6 episodes. Of course, they're gonna end up on top. So what? It's the how that is like really interesting to me.
How do we get from point A to point
B? Yeah, and them showing us like the little small things that they did that they do on a regular, like what's the girl name's Paul's mom's her name's Raquel, right?
What whose mom?
Paul's in the series.
In the movie. I can't remember, but yeah, Paul's mom.
Yeah, like
she's a Reverend Mother of the Bene
Gesserit. She's a Reverend Mother. So like you can see how like the stuff that she does is second nature. They really out here trying to figure it out on the fly, So it's it's very, very interesting just seeing how all that has transpired.
So also too, so dealing kind of still with that, and let's dealing with Valia and Tula and that, how they got to that point. The episode starts off with a ship landing, I guess, on their planet or where their base is, and you see a woman come off, and she has like the little black diamond shape on her forehead, like Dr. Uwe from the movie, because they're physicists, they're doctors, physicians. All they could just start touching you, and they could tell what's wrong. They can read your blood pressure just by putting their finger on your forehead and stuff like that. Because mind you, they have evolved to the point where we don't use thinking machines or a lot of machines at all. And they was like, "Thank you for coming." So Valia says, "Oh, thank you for coming." This and that. She's like, and I forgot what that person's gonna call him, a doctor or whatever. She was like, "I may be this, but I'm always been a Bene Gesserit first." And
I'm always sisterhood first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sisterhood first. And that's when we try to find out. They're doing an autopsy on Kasha to find out, how she died. And it was like, well, she burnt. They kind of found out, oh yeah, she burnt from the inside. These ain't no outside burns, and we don't know how this happened. And that's when Valia is like,
so it's like fire shut up in my bones.
Yeah, fire in my bones. And then by this time now, word has spread that little Puet Rasha, has little Rakize, has passed away, kind of the same way. And so Valia's like, oh snap, my plans are in trouble right now, because our whole thing is to try to get a Bene Gesserit on the throne. We need to go check out Yanez and make sure she's cool, because Kasha was Yanez's Reverend Mother.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, with the Carino family or whatnot. So that's when you see Tula, and then she says, Sister Thadia or whatever, hey, you need to come on with me. And she's like, I mean, I'm just still kind of, I ain't really know. They're like, girl, shut your black tail up and come on. Shut your black tail up and come on.
She was like, when do we leave? Right away.
Right. So then during this plot point as well, you're at the Emperor's, home base. And they're all trying to figure out, like, yo, what happened to this kid? The kid's father is like pissed of what's going on. He's like, yo,
seems a little drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Like, drunk, right? And he basically kind of reinforms the Emperor. Look here, this wedding was supposed to happen because I was gonna give you my warships that's in orbit right now. If I don't like what I'm about to hear, bombs away. We about to unleash the payload on this. And he's like, hey, my people are, and he's like, hey, my people are investigating this. We cool. So then what do we see? The Emperor kind of shoos him away, and the Emperor starts to meet with our guy Desmond. Crazy ass Desmond. Hey, crazy ass Desmond. But there's no qualms about it. There's no slip up. He basically is like, oh, I did what you wanted me to do, what you told me to do. He basically like, yeah, I killed that little boy, burnt him up from the inside, gave him that hot fire. I did. I gave him all that. And then he's like, man, I ain't tell you. He said, no, you said you want. He was like, hey, I was thinking of some other means. I wasn't thinking about you killing this little boy. And so he basically is like, hey, I did this because this whole thing is. He was like, man, if my Bene Gesserit, if my soothsayer cat, he was like, you don't need them, Emperor. I'm trying to tell you, you don't need them.
I
You got
got you.
me. I got you. You know, I got swallowed up by a sandworm and survived. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He
I need,
said, have you ever been swallowed?
swallowed. Have you ever been swallowed?
Been swallowed up by a sandworm.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's what he said. It's so the emperor's like, hey, yo, gods, arrest this crazy dude. And did you see
Hold on. Don't forget too. He was like, oh, so hold on. Did you kill Kasha? He was like, I saw her
man,
and I was like, she don't even deserve to be by your side, my lord.
yeah. You don't need them.
He said,
You got me, baby.
said,
You
I
got me,
got you.
baby. I got you.
Eyes wide open. I got you, my man.
And so they arrest this dude. And the way that the holding cell, they put him in like suspended animation. Like he's just floating. Like in the sky. I said, that is wild as hell. While all this is going on, Yanez finds out that her mentor has passed away, you know, unceremoniously.
She
And
freaked out.
she freaked out. She's like messed up all about, you know, saying all about this or whatever. During this whole time period, Valia finally makes it, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, the Mother Superior is here. Mother Superior of the soothsayers are here," and she's like, "Hey, you know, I'm sorry about what happened to the kid and stuff, but we here to make sure Yanez is okay." Or what, you know, saying whatever, and they're talking, and she just want to make sure, hey, we still good with her coming to the school to, you know, get her get her
get education, you know what I'm
get
saying?
her education and stuff or whatnot. And she was like, anything you want to tell me, Emperor? Emperor was like, well, there's a guy that we got here and this and that. And she's like, well, I would like to have a conversation with him. I want to talk. He, you know, it's funny because in this world, when anyone else sees the soothsayers, which become Bene Gesserits, you see it's just complete reverence. They're like, hey, yo, you better tighten up and act right. The Benny's here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The Bene Gesserit's here, whatever. My man was so indignant, Rashad. He was like, man, get this lady in this crazy ass outfit out my face. I don't care nothing about them, whatever. And they're trying to have a conversation. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. To the point where he's like, yeah, y'all order is really not needed no more. Basically tells her all that. He talks that good trash to her. In the meantime, who goes to visit Desmond while he's in bondage? The queen, the emperor's wife. Remind you, the emperor's wife already did not want this union to happen. She goes and meets with Desmond and talks to him, be like, so what's good? And Desmond like, hey man, look here. Yeah, I did it. Y'all had a problem. I fixed it. I don't know why he acting like this now, basically, type thing. And she, all intents and purposes, get my man to be free. Basically. Get him loose. Mind you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So like in between all this, at the beginning, there's a funeral for the Lord, you know, for young Pruitt. And I'm watching this, and the Rickezi's daughter, it's an older daughter, was like making googly eyes with what's called his brother Constantine. I was like,
girl, this is your brother's funeral.
I was like, yo. And like, I'm like, first I was like, I'm bugging. Maybe I'm thinking hypersexual. They did it 2 more times. And then after all that stuff we just talked about occurred, we go back to him and her, and he is clapping them cheeks. And I'm like, yo, is her okay? So before she even says this, like this one little hint, I'm like, man, I got a feeling that she's a truth sayer too. Because she says, yeah, like I was off. I didn't know him. I was off away on a far deserted place. That's my parents took me to a far deserted place for school. I'm like, yeah, she
I think she is too.
She a truth sayer because and again, Going back to what we know about the Bene Gesserit, what do they always do? They try
Get
to have
separate.
sex and try to figure out the weak point of men. And we already know the weakest point is vagina.
Mm-hmm.
And he released that information about young Pruitt
Mm-hmm.
and how your boy Desmond was involved in it. And then the
Mm-hmm.
next morning, they're like,
Mm-hmm.
look, y'all, we are, and on Father of Case, like, look, we already know that man has something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? And like then the whole fruck is involved. That's when the mother comes in there, and then we go back to where we are currently. So yeah.
Uh-huh. And like I said, she gets Desmond released, and Desmond also talks that good stuff to the Emperor, like, hey man, you don't need these soothsayers. I can help you out. We can get stuff straight on Arrakis and all that. And so, saying the Papa Rakesi is just going nuts. And then when he sees that Desmond just walks out, no longer in bondage or in chains or anything like that, he's like, yo, it then the Emperor starts talking that good stuff. Look here. I would hate for the Imperium to find out that just because this happened, that you backed out on our deal with, saying your warships and everything like that. But we still gonna do this or whatever. And my man was like, I ain't about to do nothing. And the next thing you know, my man said, it started burning him from the inside. My man was on the ground begging and pleading. And then he was like, that's enough. And he stops. He says, look here. Emperor says, look here. Go home. Mourn your son. Tell no one of what happened here. And you're going to come back here with my fleet. You understand me, little boy? That's basically what he told me. He was like, yes, yes. And now he has this powerful pyromaniac, person here that could just set people on fire at his command. Then there's another storyline going on.
Yeah.
With they have an alliance of people.
I'm gonna call this I'm gonna call it down at Club Arrakis.
Right. An alliance of people at Club Arrakis, and they're trying to say, hey, look here. We don't think the Carino emperors, they should have complete control over the spice and the money with that. It needs to be spread out through the Imperium, through the great houses. So they're in the process of trying to plan a coup to kind of, not necessarily take over the Imperium, but to get that money spread out,
Yeah.
spread out amongst the Imperium, the power and the spread out like that.
They're
And
like
they're having
not the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? We just want
right,
fair wages, free
right. That's
lunch, you
all.
know what I'm saying, for the
Yeah.
kids.
And so that's going on. And you once again see that one chick that is a Fremen,
Yeah.
that is basically a Fremen who's there. And then come to find out what we find out, Rashad, she is a soothsayer spy, because she's a soothsayer.
She a truth sayer too. I'm like,
and soothsayer. And what is she doing? She's meeting with the Mother Superior and was like, hey, look here. I found out who the spy is in the camp and who's the person that we need to keep an eye on and we need to get. And she's like, who? When she told Valia who it was, which was an Atriedes, you see Valia get eyes light up, because remember, Valia is a Harkonnen, and the Harkonnens hate the Atriedes. So you got that going on in that storyline. In the meantime, Yanez is still mourning the loss of Kasha, and you see Kyrian Atriedes trying to, comfort her, and she's like, yo, stop. We can't do this in public. Because as we know, in the first episode, they got a little thing going on, on the side, behind doors too, when they went to the club and they was they were sniffing on that spice booger sugar.
Yeah, so like even like it cut it back to that. Back at
Uh-huh.
Club Arrakis, they have like a whole little they have like a whole little cool team meeting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then her name is Michaela. Yeah,
Mm.
Michaela's like, look,
Uh,
I know you ain't going soft for that little for that little girl, that Carino girl, because I like
mm-hmm.
look, they ain't see you, but I saw you get high and clap them cheeks. Like I already know. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, nah, man, you know me,
Mm-hmm.
big Atriedes. I'm still down for the cause. And she's like, yeah, I got my eye
Yeah.
on you in more ways than one. Because at that point, we didn't even know that she was a sister, yet. So
Right. Right. And he basically gave, the insurgent folk a copy of the layout of the Carino Palace.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of a big deal there too. So was there any other plot points in this episode, Rashard, or was that
I
just about?
feel like we hit them all because we got we got Lila, we got the
Mm-hmm.
insurgency, we got
Mm-hmm.
Desmond doing
Uh-huh.
crazy things. Oh yeah, I mean yeah, because we talked about him on Punk and Valiant too. So yeah, we hit
Oh
everything.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this, like I I love some good willing and dealing in the
Uh-huh.
story. I also love and appreciate the fact that even though the Valia got hold at the end,
Uh-huh.
she still had more than one irons in the quote unquote fire
Mm-hmm.
because her also and it goes back to what we know of them now.
Mm-hmm.
They got plans on plans on plans.
Mm-hmm.
Because we was
And
not because come on now, the sword master is a
yeah.
spy
Mm-hmm.
and
And,
she knows that and is basically orchestrating that. You know
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? They're getting quote unquote spice off of Arrakis to get the people high
Mm-hmm.
and on that planet, so that whole thing. And plus, Tony, like, I saw her last episode. I was like, what the hell is this Fremen doing on this planet? This is look too like you got blue eyes, yo. You standing out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You way too suspicious for me.
And you got them blue eyes because I mean you've been in contact with Spice for a
For a
long,
long
long
time.
time.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would have been automatic like, yo, who the Fremen? You know what I'm saying? Even if she wasn't
Yeah.
Fremen, like who the Fremen over there? Who over there
Yeah.
getting high all the time?
Yeah. Right.
Is
Right.
the
So
is the food too spicy?
I remember that. I
You know what I'm
remember that.
saying?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, so that part of it for me has been
Yeah.
that's why like I'm liking this series because they are very subtly and not just like hitting us over the head with the
Mm-hmm.
connections. They're not
Mm-hmm.
making it to the point where it's like, oh, this is how we used to do it. And now can't you see how this is? Nah, it's like, look,
Right.
yo, we're going to give you this
Right.
crazy, fantastical scenario to show you how they've mastered
Uh-huh.
poison control and then tie
And
it into the story itself
and
and make
you
it a
and,
part of the plot.
and you can watch this series without having seen the movies, which is why
That's
I love
you
it too
have
as well.
you don't have to watch the movie, but if
Right.
you watch the movie, it
You're
makes the movie better to me.
better.
Like this
Mm-hmm.
this is this is adding to it. It's not just subtracting from it, which
Mm-hmm.
I love the most, man. Like this, like 4 more episodes. I wish we had 8. I wish we had 6 more. This is a
Yeah.
very limited series. I would love if they gave us a series 2 already. I
Yeah.
don't even
Yeah.
have to see the ending.
Yeah.
I want another series of this.
Mm-hmm.
Or just another series in the Duneverse. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that'd be amazing. But I
Yeah.
think you got anything else?
No, I really don't have anything else, man. I think that's really it that we've hit on or whatever. Like, I'm saying this, like I said, this series in the episodes is like so many different plot points. We just can't go, hey, this will happen in the show. The different, you have to hit the different plots, stories behind each thing. So next week it might be a different plot dealing with maybe some more of the truth sayers, some more of the truth sayers and stuff like that. Because this is only 6 episodes, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then all these episodes have been over an hour long too. So
Yes.
been loving that. Give us some money's worth, Max. But yeah, we'll see you guys next Monday. Another episode of this. Make sure you hit the channel up by the time this drops. We may or may have not dropped our spoiler review for Denzel and Rome. Make sure you check that out too.
Okay, Gladiator.
I'm sorry, Gladiator 2. That's some very strong thoughts about that one. Yeah. After this, we have a couple more things. Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim. Sony has Nosferatu, which she got a new trailer IMAX poster for that today. Looks really good. I was like, man,
season 3, the final season of What If?
And of course, our annual year in review, the stuff that we was excited about. Oh yeah, matter of fact, go back to our beginning of the year for this year, 24. See what we was talking about, see what we liked, check what we reviewed. Keep us honest. You know what I'm saying? All the good stuff. Because it was
call us out if we missed some stuff or whatever like that. It's all good.
Definitely, man. I think in almost everything that we said we was gonna review, we reviewed. Somebody shouted us out the other day, was like, yo, y'all really be reviewing all the stuff. And in my mind, I was like, yeah. And there's so much more we could review if y'all just join the Patreon. And you know,
make this a little bit more
lucrative for your boys. You know what I'm saying? Make this a money earning endeavor, so to speak, but not for real. So. If y'all really want to do some other stuff, man, because Tony watch a lot of crap that I don't watch, and vice versa. I didn't mean to call it crap. Like we could really. I'm sorry. I was like, that sounded harsh.
I was like,
that was uncalled for. It's just really just in my vernacular. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, no, but stuff that we don't watch together that we could easily talk about, or something that you want to talk about, you passionate about, like, but we gotta get behind the paywall with that. Gotta start that. That's like the next year's goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Build up the paywall. Yeah.
Oh yeah. One more thing, one of my favorite episodes that we did this year was the episode on the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef. One of my favorite episodes. Well, the hits keep rolling with her. Not necessarily, kind of with the beef, but our old friend Kendrick Lamar dropped an album on this past Friday, like around 11 o'clock in the morning.
Tony said
he dropped a tease like 15 minutes before the next day he drops it. All of a sudden, I just text Rashad and says, Kendrick dropped.
I was like, drop what?
I said
an album.
An album. And then apparently on Monday or whatever, he dropped a music video for Squabble Up.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I saw it.
Yeah, so man.
Video. Yeah.
So on the music, so on the music tip, if you haven't, check out Kendrick's new album. Pretty cool. If you haven't, if you haven't, saying, you're missing out some good stuff. If you have, I'm just gonna say one thing: mustard. And you know where it comes from.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. So yeah, that's saying. Other than that, what we told you we about to watch, what we just said about helping this channel get better, helping us get better content for you guys. That's all I got, man. What about you, Ray?
Man, until the next time, y'all.
Oh, by the way, everybody, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, and be safe if you're on the road and all that good stuff. We shall see you.
Yeah, utilize Uber, guys. I know y'all gonna be drinking.
Yeah, please.